I'm going to do a video on evaluating rational expressions. And first thing you need to do is know what a rational expression is. It's really any expression such that P is a polynomial and Q is a polynomial and a rational expression is when you have P over Q. So basically, two polynomials one dividing into the other one. And so, for example, I could have something like 2x squared plus 3x minus 4 over, let's say, x squared minus 9. And this is a rational expression. I have one polynomial in the numerator, one polynomial in the denominator, and that's it. Now, I'm going to use this as my example, and you can evaluate a rational expression. And evaluate just means find the value of an expression, and you can't solve an expression because in order to solve you need to have an equation. This is an expression because there is no equal sign. So evaluate the expression if, and they can give you some value. And I'm going to say, let's say if x equals 2. What I always recommend doing is using parentheses. Oops. And so what I do is this. Wherever I see my variable that I'm going to be substituting in, I just put in parentheses. And the reason why I do that is because if it's something absolutely crazy, I might end up doing this on my calculator. And if you use your calculator, yes sir, how may I help you? Oh, and if you are wondering, this is the 27th of December that I'm doing this video, and so that's why I had to look at all the crayons my son got for Christmas. If you type this into the calculator, 2 parentheses squared plus 3 parentheses 2 parentheses minus 4, you will get, well, this is going to be 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 times 2 is 6, minus 4 is, well, so that's going to be 4, 8, plus 6 is 14, minus 4 is 10. I'm going to get 10 over 4 minus 9, which is negative 5, which equals a negative 2. So if x equals 2, 2x squared plus 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 9 equals negative 2. Let's say I had, what if I said negative 2? If x equals negative 2, well, once again, I'd do the same exact thing, and you can see all I'm doing, so block that off, is I'm just putting in parentheses a negative 2. And here's the deal. Here's where you have to be careful. A lot of people just write negative 2 squared and they'll get the wrong value. You have to actually put that negative 2 in parentheses and then square it. So negative 2 squared is 4, times 2 is 8. 3 times a negative 2 is negative 6. So 8 minus 6 is 2, minus 4 is a negative 2. It's going to be 4 minus 9, which is a negative 5. So when x equals negative 2, the value is 2/5. So I just substituted in and found the value. The last thing I'm going to do is this, and this is actually a very, very, very important piece of information. I'm going to find out what is a rational expression undefined. And in order to know what undefined means, you have to remember back that undefined means if you have P over Q, P over Q is undefined if Q equals 0. And so all we're going to do is, let's say I have 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus 5x minus 6 all over 2x minus 7. If I want to find out when this value is undefined, I don't care about the numerator. I just care about my denominator. And like I said, it's undefined if Q equals 0. So it's undefined if I set 2x minus 7 equals 0. I add 7. I add 7 to both sides, and I get 2x equals 7. I divide by 2. I get x equals 7 halves, or 3.5. So if x equals 3.5, this whole expression becomes undefined. I'm going to do 2 more because they're kind of important. I'd like to do about 20 more. You have to be a factor factoring master here. And let's say I have something like this. Let's say 2x minus 15. Well, this is a quadratic, and so well, it's a trinomial. So like I said, I'm going to set it equal to 0. And when I do that, you have to factor. And if you're not great at factoring, you're gonna want to review these rules. But my value is 15, so I find the factors of 15, and I need them to get to 2, so those are going to be out. So I'm going to use 3 and 5. That's positive, but that's negative. So I'm going to say x minus 3 equals 0, or x plus 5 equals 0. Add 3 to both sides, and subtract 5 from both sides. I get x equals 3, or x equals negative 5. And if you plug these values in to this, they'll equal 0. I think I'm actually going to stop there. Well, I will do one. How much time do I have? I'll do one last one because I have a tiny bit of time left, and this is going to be a pretty interesting one. Let's say I had 2x squared minus 5x plus 7 over x to the 4th minus 16. Well, I'm going to set x to the 4th minus 16 equals 0, but this is the difference in perfect squares. So I get x squared plus 4 and x squared minus 4 equals 0. It's the 4th degree, so I have 4 possible solutions. This I can't do anything with. So I get x squared plus 4 equals 0. But this, sorry, we gotta back up. But this I can make into x plus 2 and x minus 2 equals 0. So I'm going to set each of these factors equals 0. X squared plus 4 equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. If I subtract 4 from both sides, I get x squared equals negative 4. Because then when I take the square root of x squared, you get plus or minus the square root of negative 4. Which gives me x equals plus or minus the square root of negative 4. That's no good because the square root of negative 4 is not a real number. And I'm not saying that tongue-in-cheek. I mean, it's literally not a real number. So these values are going to be for naught. Subtract 2, I get x equals a negative 2. I add 2, I get x equals positive 2. So although there's 4 possible solutions, 2 of them are not real. My only 2 real solutions are those. Alright, I hope that's been helpful. Enjoy.